Hello Anil, how are you?
Yeah, Dev. I'm fine. How are you?
Same here. Actually, why we have gathered here? What is topic today?
Okay, so Dev, I want to discuss about the shell script. You may have heard about the operating system like
Yes,
Windows and Linux, and you may also aware about the Bash script. Maybe you have
yes,
used the Git and you know about the Bash, Git Bash, and you
yes.
may have used the Linux,
Mhm.
and you may have heard the script that you can write a script on Linux and you can automate some tasks. So today we'll be going to discuss about the basic on the scripting, that how we can automate little tasks in using the script. Basically, we will going to compare the programming language with the script. So like start from the hello world program and go from the loops and if else
Yeah,
condition
a
and
good
taking
start too.
inputs and all that stuff. Yeah. So let me just share my screen and I'll take you on my virtual machine. So can you tell me my screen is visible or not?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible.
So the shell script in Ubuntu, basically the topic is so today's topic is shell script in Ubuntu. So shell script basically be used for running a group of commands, automate the task, and at the end it makes the programmer's life very easy. So the content that we will be covering is basic information, comparing with the programming language and demonstration. Right. So if we talk about the basic information that why we need the SAS script. So the question arises also, and you, if the question is not arises, then you just you like pop it. So it's not worth it. So you may ask a question that why we use the shell script. So the shell script is used to get rid of typing same group of commands again and again. Basically, that's the main use of shell script. So the if we compare with the programming language, then what we can do? So we can print on the screen. We can also comment in the shell script. We can execute the loops. We can take input from the user. We can also take the input from the command line. We can have conditional statements like if or switch case. We can also have logical operators like and or. We can also have the function with and without parameter, and we can also do some complex tasks like send email, check for existence of file or directory, and wait and sleep. And these all complex tasks may be done with the using of these concepts. So we will be looking at these concepts which are highlighted in the red.
So, uh,
So
you,
yeah,
I have a doubt.
yes,
So,
yes,
all these things we can do with programming language like Python. So, why do we need
uh,
shell
yes,
script? Again,
yeah.
the same
So
question.
yeah. No, not it's not the same question that why we need the shell script, and that the question that you have asked currently, that all the with the programming language we can do all this stuff.
Yes.
But what is the difference then, right? So the main difference that as far as I can see is like we can directly execute the scripts, the shell scripts on the command prompt in the terminal. And if
Yeah.
we talk about the Windows, then we can execute the bash scripts also.
Yes.
Uh, but the main difference between the programming language is the programming language comes with their libraries and their support system, and they can vary from platform to platform. Like if we talk about the C language, then C language the support in the different operating system may differ. But the
Yeah.
shell script in the Ubuntu, it is always there, and it will not change, right? So I think that's the difference. If you can
So what
summarize
I
the difference,
so what I get is the shell script
yeah,
uses operating system directly, and other languages needs to be installed separately.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
So for the demonstration purpose, I have created the directory in my home
Mhm.
directory in CS writing and in practicals. Right. These are some files that I have already created. And first task that we would might need to demonstrate is that we need to open terminal. Two terminals, first of all, I say, and why two terminals that I will tell later. So first is u command and hello world, right? So if you know, if you might know that if we just type echo and some message over here, then it gets
Yeah.
directly printed on the screen.
Very good.
If you want to see that what echo can do, then you can simply type man echo.
Mm.
So you can see display a line of text, right?
Mm.
And if you want to declare some variable, so you can directly do in the terminal in Linux. So h1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, right? And if I want to print that variable, then I can use echo and then dollar and then the variable name, right?
Yeah.
And if you press enter,
Mm.
then it will prompt back the value that we have stored, right?
Yes.
So if you want to make a script, then what we can do, first of all, we can type gedit in the file that we want to make, and followed by .sh command, .sh extension. It is not like mandatory that you have to write .sh, but it is good practice to name your bash file or shell script with sh. Right. So I
Yes.
have already made a file like prse1.sh. So you can see, as we have done over in here in the terminal, we can directly do it over here like echo and then in string, or you can also omit this string also. You can directly,
Yeah.
yeah, you can
Oh,
directly
yeah. Mm.
do this. And if we now come over here, and first of all, if you have made the file currently, so you may not have the execute permission. You can see the execute permission is given over here. So
Yeah.
in such case, you can use the chmod plus x and the file name to give the execute rights to the file.
Yeah.
In this case, I have already execute rights, so I can just type /1 and .sh. You can see the message get printed.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
So that's the demonstration about echo command and hello world, right?
Yeah.
And now if we talk about the comments and the single line and multi-line, so in most of the programming language, you might have known how to declare comments and what is the purpose of the comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I have already made a file already. So that's the name is prse2.sh. So you can see in shell script, if you want to declare a single line comments, then it can be followed by has you can say has, and that's all line will be ignored and consider as single line.
Yeah.
And if you want to declare like a multi-line comments, then you can have like this symbol of this colon and then followed by the single quote. You can see single quote and the single quote ends over here. So this is multi-line comment. I can
Yeah.
write anything over
Mhm.
here, some stupid stuff, or you can say not stupid stuff, some information about the code. And if I execute it over here, like say /prsa2.sh. So you can see that these two echo lines are printed, and this line and this whole multi-line was ignored because that was the comment, right?
Yeah. I can see.
So that's about single line and multi-line comment. This is very simple stuff.
So I have a question here. Okay. So if you
Yes.
when you when you make the file .sh like practical2.sh, right? And if you write let's say
Hmm.
hello, a five-word key,
Hmm.
five words, right? So
Right.
how much space does it store with the that string and the string which has comments on it? Does comments get stored?
Uh,
Is it same as the? Do you get the question?
like just give me, like you are asking that the this file prac2.sh, right?
Yes. In the same
So
file
the
without comments.
size of this, yeah. So actually I don't know, but we can try out.
So do you
Like
know the command to see size of files? Like there is a command which shows size of
yes.
file. So we can try it
Yes,
right now.
if you just, yes, if you write like ls minus l over here, you can see I am on the same directory.
It is a bit delayed, but wait.
Yeah, you can see the size of the file is 262. Can you see?
Can you reshare the screen? Yeah. It
Yes.
is like freeze.
So yeah, it is visible.
It is loading. Yeah, I can see now. So yeah,
So you
I
can
can see
see
the
the
size
size
here.
262.
262. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
we, what we
fine.
can do, we can we can copy file actually. We can
Yeah.
copy prac2.sh and the copied file name will be prac2 underscore copy dot let's say sh,
Yeah.
right? And we can open up that file in the gedit. Okay, does it not get copied? Okay, so it is not getting copied. No problem. What
Can
we
you
can
just
do is,
paste? Yeah.
yeah, we can just simply copy it from over
Yes.
here and we can have pasted over here
Yes. And remove the
and we
comments. Yeah.
can delete this. Yes.
Hmm.
And if we now hit save and if we again type ls minus l,
Okay. So it is
you can
same. Means the
see
comments are getting stored. So there are look at that. There are two
the,
practical two underscore copy dot sh. What does that mean?
no, actually, no, actually I have mistaken. So you can see this, I have quit the file and I have mistaken while opening the file. You can see gedit prac was
Okay. Okay.
have to
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
there, but I have PR.
Okay. Both. So the
Yeah,
both are
and
not
I
same.
have
So comments are not getting stored. The conclusion is that, right?
uh, no. The comments are actually counted. You can see the PRAC2, the size of it is 262, and the
Yes.
file without the comments having size 149.
So yeah. So comments are not
So
stored.
uh, I am confused that comments. Why you are saying that comments are not stored?
It is the size of 1 for 50 is less, right? Before it was 260 and now it
Yes,
is 40. So if you remove,
149. Yes,
yeah, 149. So if you remove the comments,
yes.
uh, the size gets reduced because the comment was getting stored. Right. So
Yes,
comments
yes, yes.
gets
Okay,
stored, right?
okay. Yes, yes, yes.
So that is weird. That
I
is really
got
weird.
it.
Unlike the
Yes.
Python and C++, the comments you usually see is not getting stored. But here, this is the new thing
Yes.
I learned
But
today.
maybe it is because this is showing the actual size of the file,
Bytes.
that how many characters, yeah, yes, how many blocks, or you can say how many number of blocks in the hard drive it is actually stored. You can see
Storing.
this total 28.
Yeah.
Total 28 means total 28 blocks are required.
Yes.
And out of these are the sizes. So maybe these number are based on the characters that we have stored, and the
Yeah.
comments are actually not getting stored. We
Yeah. Yeah.
can explore it out on that.
Yeah.
So uh, now shall I continue from the loops?
Yeah. Sure.
So you may have tried loops in many of the programming languages. And loops are very, you have heard there are lots of importance of loops, that it reduces the task that repeatedly needs to be done, right? So
Yeah.
I have, two examples of for loop. So the first one is while loop. So
Yes.
you can see the syntax over here, like the counter is declared over here. So first thing is you have to see that that's how we can declare a variable. So the variable declaration in the shell script is very simple. You just need to type a variable name, and you must need to keep in mind that it
Yeah.
should not be like any other programming languages. Like if you type like this, so the space between variable name is equal to, and then is equal to, and the value of the variable. This would not get this would not be encountered by the shell script. So that should be keep in mind. If we do the experiment, that also we
Mm.
can do. If I just keep the space over here and save it,
Mm.
and, then if we execute it, it will prompt
Mm.
back us the error. You can see
Yeah. Mhm.
counter count not found. Yeah. So now if we just remove the space and hit save and again execute,
Yeah.
and then it will
So the indentation is very strict here.
yeah, like in
It
Python you
is
may have
stricter
also
than Python. It is stricter than Python. Space
yeah,
between
stricter
equals
than
to and
Python.
zero. Yeah.
Yeah, because it needs to interpret as a variable.
Yeah.
So
So you can see it
that's
is
the
reading
reason.
character by character.
Yeah,
That is,
character by character.
yeah. That's why
We
it's
we
happening.
can yes, we can directly confirm it is happening via this, because if it encounters the space, then it
Yeah.
assumes that counter is some kind of command or some kind
Yeah.
of
Got it.
another string or
Mm-hmm.
some another call. We'll see later on that why it is also having, like, if we put this space, then what is the so in the
Mm.
function concept of function, we will see that why it is happening like this. And in a while, you can
Yeah.
always have, or in any kind of loop, like for or while, you will always be see do
Mm.
and done. Do part, done part. So within do part and do and done, you can write whatever you want, right? And
Mm.
the two things that you
Yes.
need to keep in mind is you cannot directly include these symbols, less than, greater than, or greater than, equal to, or less than equal to,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You have to be specific. Like if you want to use less than, uh,
Mm.
then you can use, like as I have used over here, you can use minus LE.
Yes.
If you
So
want
it
to
is.
use greater than,
So what is it a full
Yes.
form?
Yeah. So the minus LE represents less than. Less the minus LE is getting translated into less than this symbol.
Okay, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's basically happening in the background. And if you want to use greater than symbol, then we can give it like minus G. You can also,
Mm-hmm.
like, I can give the counter 10 and I
Mm-hmm.
can use GT and then I can use 0 and over here I can use counter minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if we now save, and so you can see 10 to 1 is getting printed. So it is we have to use some naming convention rather than directly using the symbol. We can also directly use the symbol, but in such case, you can see we have to do like this. This curly braces, double times curly braces, and the expression in
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So in such case, we can directly use the normal uh, symbols like as we used to do in any other programming language.
Mm-hmm.
So if you observe now the for loop, then we can clear on that. We can be clear more on that.
Mm-hmm.
So this may be very familiar syntax to you, like for
Yeah.
counter is equal to 0, counter is less than or equal to 10, and counter plus plus. Right.
Yeah.
So you can see if you want to directly use those symbols, less than equal
It
to
is
greater than equal to
less
plus
than. Yeah.
plus. Yeah. So we can include it in double
Double. Yeah.
double
Yeah. Okay.
braces,
Mm-hmm.
double rounded, and this similar syntax is over here, do and done. With the part which we want to include in the for loop, that we can include in do and done, as we have used in
Mm-hmm.
while loop.
Yeah.
Right. And also we can execute this script over here. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see printing 0 to 10. Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's basically it about the for loops. Uh, and if we talk about the input from user, then
Mm-hmm.
also it is very simple. You will laugh when you come to know that that's how we can use.
Yeah.
So now we will see the actual flow of making an cell script, because I have not made a cell script for taking the input.
Mm-hmm.
Demonstration of taking the input of the user. So
Mm-hmm.
let us just make a file. For that, we can use gedit file.sh command. So as soon as this file pops up, you can see this gedit text editor is open. And now what we need to do, we need to take input from the user, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we will do, we will just take the name from the user, and we'll then use that your name that is given by the user, and we will
Mm-hmm.
greet the user, right, with
Okay.
some good morning or hello message.
Yeah.
So for that, what we need to do, we need to take input from
User.
user, right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then greet the user. So for
Mm-hmm.
let's say we want to take a name from the user. So first, what we'll do in any other programming language, if we want to take a username, then what we will do? Do you have some idea?
So there will be a command to just enter, like Java. If you have Java, then you take input with
Yes.
a predefined function.
No, no, not go in the programming language. Just
Yeah.
think that what you do if you want to take input. If you want to take input, then you will think with some message, right? If I want to take input from you, what I have said,
Yes.
what do you think, right? So what we can do, we can echo, like what we need to do. So what we need
Okay.
to get, like we need to take input from user. So we can
Mm.
take enter your name, right? and with some like colon. And if you want to take input, I know you will laugh right now. So that's basically simple. We can just take with read and we can have variable name. That's it.
Uh,
And now we can, yes,
mm-hmm.
and now we can access
Pretty
this scheme
straightforward.
from anywhere. Yeah, it is very straightforward. And we can just now access it from anywhere in the script. If the variable has been declared over here, then we can from the fourth line we can access this variable anywhere. So what we can do? Hello,
Yeah.
how are you? Dollar name. So that's it. As we have taken this variable dollar name,
Yeah.
and when we
Yes,
can
sir.
now use in the
Definitely.
greet
Yeah.
list.
Mm-hmm.
So if we now list out, so you can see the practical file.sh is not having the executable permission. So if we try prc file.sh, then it will tell us that no file. Oh, sorry. So it will tell us that permission didn't, because we cannot execute any file directly. It is Linux is not having that. Linux is not giving directly us that permission. That is related to security. So what we can do, we can give explicitly permission with chmod plus x and the file name.
Yeah.
And now what we can do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
just
can
name.
see enter your name. So I can take name.
Yeah.
So you can see hello, how are
Close
you?
out. Mm-hmm.
And you may be noticing this space. Yeah, enter your name, then this is a new line. So if we want to exclude that new line, so we can exclude it with echo command
Okay.
-n.
Mm-hmm.
This this is the option and this is the command. You can see in the main pages also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we now execute, so see the
Okay.
my cursor is not
In the
getting
same
into
line.
new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's looks something not weird. The
Yeah.
previously it was looking somewhat of weird.
Next line. Yeah.
So now, yeah, so that's basically it. And improve from the command. And that is also very simple. So let me just quickly make a new file prc6.sh. Yeah, and if we want to take a input from the command line like a file name, and if we give like dot slash, and if it are value, put some value like 32145 or any loss something else, right? Then we can
Mm-hmm.
give it. We can use this value from the command line directly into this script.
Oh,
So
okay.
for that, what we can do, we will do like we can take a value from over here, and we can from 0 up to that value, we can have a for loop, right? So what we can do, we can have like declare a variable num, and we want to take first the value that is written in the command line. So we can write $1. So it's like if you want to access second value, command line value, then you can enter $2, and
Okay.
third, then you can enter $3, and up to so
Mm-hmm.
on. Right. So as we want to write a first value, so like we can just simply say $1.
So
And
it
now
should point
for
to 321, right? 321, the first number.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
so we can see like counter is equal to 0, counter is less than num, less than or equal to num, and counter plus plus,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is do, and this is done. Yeah, and we can just echo dollar CO is 0 and T counter. And I think that should be it. And we can try out printing the another command lines argument like echo $2 and then $3 and $4. We can restrict out $4, right? So if we now, so we can give the permission. And let's say we want to print a for loop from 0 to 5. So we can give a number 5. And then let's give second argument. And Dave and some dummy value. So let's see what happens. Okay,
do you need
sorry.
to write the extension? Yeah, I was asking that.
Yeah, sorry. So you can see it is getting executed, and you can see that we have echoed $2, $3, $4. So all the values are getting printed. So that's how basically we can get the values from the command line algorithm.
Yeah.
And conditional statements and logical operators, right? So conditional statement, we are just going to see about the if condition. So if condition is very pretty much simple. So we can have a second file, and what we can do, we can we can take input from user, and we can have if you are 18 plus, then you are able to vote. Then that program you may have built, right? So we can that stuff also we can do over here. So what we can do, we can have variable age. But first of all, let us just print out the message that enter your age, right? And for not going into the new line, we can have option -m.
Exclude the.
And we can read, yes, exclude the new line. And we can read age. And on the basis of if, and the structure is like this. If and then square braces. And the condition that we want to check, we need to write in this square braces. Like say, if $age is less than 80, right? So what we need to do then? So for that, we can use then. And basically, if the age is less than 10, then it will fall into this section, this then section. So we can print out simply, you are underage, right? And the else is very simple else. And what we can do, you can work, right? And then simply to end this if command, if condition, we can add fi, the opposite of if, right? And that's basically it.
End the if loop.
Yes, it will end the if condition basically. So this is the control state. So if we now just do ls minus l, and we can give permission to practical 7, and so you can see enter your age. If I just write 25. Okay, sorry. So it is also printing the output that you can vote, but you can see on line 4 it is getting error that integer expression expected. So we can try out putting semicolon over, dollar over here. So enter your age 20A. See, error is not getting again prompted, and you can see if I now enter the below age like 15, so you can see it is getting printed that you are on the.
Yes.
So that's the basic of the control statement. However, there are lots of control statement like switch, but this is the basic overview. So we are not going to see the control statement in details.
Yeah.
And lastly, the functions. This is the very important part. So for functions, I have one uh, file.
Mhm.
So to introduce, so you can see. So what we
Yes.
have discussed in the practical number. Let me open a file from over here. I think practical 2.s. No, I just want to. Yeah. So we have discussed that this counter and then space and then is equal to 2 is not valid, right? Not valid variable declaration.
Yes.
Why this is not valid with valid variable declaration? So you can see we can it interprets as it is a function, because as you can see the we have
Okay.
made the function, like you
Yes.
may be aware about the function declaration,
Yes.
and this is the function call f1, right?
So
And
it
these are
does
the
not have a
parameters.
data type or
No, no,
anything, any
there are
variables.
no any restrictions. Uh, like like would you explain in details?
Your the starting in starting you said
Yes, yes.
you declared any variables like num is equal to
Uh,
312 number. So you do not have
yeah,
to
yeah.
specify data
So
type in the
yeah,
scripting, right?
that's the yes, scripting in script, that's the basic thing that you have to know, that you do not need to give the any type. It will automatically interpret that what you want to display and what you want to
Mhm.
consider it as. If you want to consider it as any integer expression, then you can use that we have discussed double uh,
Double
uh, double
brackets.
braces.
Yeah.
Yeah, double rounded bracket. So it will automatically interpret that the value inside that it is integer. If it is not any type of integer, it will detect as a string, then it will give prompt back to the error.
Yes.
So uh, if we look at the function carefully, so
Mhm.
it is the same. As we have included the command line arguments with $1 and $2. So this is basically function call. You can see F1. And
Yes.
with that, I have passed the two parameters, hello and honey, right?
Okay.
So you can see str1 is equal to dollar, and what it interprets as the $1 is the first argument after the function call.
Okay.
We in general programming language we include these curly braces,
Yes.
right? Sorry, rounded braces, and we pass the argument over here, right? But we do not do it like way. We what we do is we can just
Mhm.
call it F1 and we can pass the arguments.
So I think that is
So
how
first
all the
of all,
commands work. Like look at
yeah,
that
yeah,
command
that's the
ls
basic
minus
flow.
l. Ls is a function and
Yeah,
minus l is the argument.
yeah. So the design of the shell scripting and the
Yes,
commands in
it
the
is like
Linux
that.
is very much similar. If you know the basic commands that how to execute, then you can easily remember that how we can create functions, how we can execute loop, how we can execute condition statement like if and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So if you observe the function, what is getting done over here? The first argument is getting stored in str1, second argument is getting stored in str2. Then
Mhm.
the str is you can see as we have included double quote and then str1 and then dollar str2, and which is separated with the space between them. So it will concat the one string and store two string str1 str2 and store it into str. So you can see this echo message is getting printed, and then we are printing concatenate string. So
Yes.
we can just try out execute it. So you can see hello from function f1, and first
Yeah.
parameter is hello and so string is getting concatenated. and you can observe over here. So you
Yes.
can see $1, $2, and concatenation,
Those
and then
double
the final thing
braces
is getting
also
triggered.
there. Okay.
Yeah, actually, there is no need of double curly braces. It is just needed if we want to calculate some, uh, you can say variable like integer calculation, addition, subtraction, like that.
Okay.
So we can also try. So you can see without curly braces. So that's basically it about today's session. We have
So
covered a
let
lot of
me
basic
share my
things
screen. I
about.
want to show you something from Windows Windows says batch scripting, right? In Windows it is batch scripting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can share your screen. I have
Can
stopped
you
sharing
see?
my screen. Just a second. Yeah, now I can see.
So few months ago, you can see I have tried to write uh, Windows. I tried to write the batch script. So yeah, this is echo.
Yes, yes.
You have to write this and title of the this and this this is for
Fine.
the terminal. Title is the CMD window name and echo this, and then you have to write pros. So this is very complex than what we have seen in Linux. So that is why it is fast.
Yeah,
So
Linux.
if I, so
Yeah,
you can see
Linux
this
is based
echo
on.
is printed.
Oh yeah.
So I
So
also,
pause means it is.
yeah, it is end of the program.
Yeah,
It is in every, you
and
can
if
see,
you do not. Yeah, yeah,
yes, if you,
yeah. I was asking that if you do not write the pause, then what happens?
yes, let's see that. I don't
Like,
know, but look at this. I write a program to ping charusat, like it will ping charusat. So let's run this.
yeah. So
Pretty late response,
those
right?
command like ping. Oh, right, right, right.
So let's
I can
try
see the output.
without pause. So you can see output.
Yeah, I am able to see.
What you can see right now.
So you are removing the pause.
Let me again share the screen. Okay, so you can see this pause. I have
Yeah,
selected pause.
yeah. I can see that you have selected pause.
Yeah, so if we remove it and I can save it,
Yeah,
and if I try to run it, so it also does that. But if we do it without and with pause, I think there isn't much difference, but it is a tradition to write the pause, I can say.
so can you just try in that hello world?
Yes, here it is.
Yeah,
So you are
it
saying I
will
should
remove
run it.
the. Yeah,
Here it is.
without the pause, without pause.
Okay, without the pause. So
Yeah,
remove it, save, and run. So it is not running. You can see.
yeah. That's what I am saying.
So,
That
but
I know. I know C in C language you have encountered that get ch command.
yes, get
Yeah,
character, right?
yeah, get character. So what
Yes.
it does, it simply calls the screen after we enter some input or we print something on the screen. So that's
Yeah.
basically I think it should be happening over here.
Yeah. So you can write this program when your kids is probably using your PC. If the it is very late night, it is time to go bed. It will automatically shut down your PC.
Oh, so it will shut down
Yeah.
my PC. Probably not run at night. You probably not run it right now.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. So
We can see
Yeah,
why people are using more shell scripting than batch scripting in Windows. It is very fast.
yeah, it is very fast, and you don't have to install any such dependencies because you have already provided your OS have already provided all the dependencies. You just need
Hmm.
to type and execute.
Yes.
And also, I want to share the one experience. You are there with me in this experience. Like we have seen our technicians in our college, our state university, who
Yes.
are
YML
installing remote installation.
remote installation.
Yeah, yeah, in remote installation of what software? For I think the uh, what software was that?
Uh,
Remote installation. Yeah, Photoshop. Right.
yes. Corel Draw, Photoshop.
Yeah. So they were installing Photoshop and Corel from the network via uh, in running script in at single time in all at a single
Yes.
time
Only
in all
one
the PCs.
only
So
one command, and all the pieces will get Photoshop.
yeah, so that's the power of shell script.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's
Very great
probably
session. Thank
from
you.
my side. Yeah.
Yeah.